This is an incredible story too, Sarah. When it comes to marathons, you usually only hear about the winners and how fast runners made it across the finish line. But there's another story to be told, and ultimately, it really is the better story. Byron Harlan takes us to last month's Chicago Marathon for one memorable finish.
The guy collapsed against the wall, has nothing left, but will not quit. Forget that he's dropped to his knees. He's made it up in his mind that he's going to crawl to the finish if that's what it takes. Runner after runner passes the man who was working on a pretty solid performance of his own. He's in a pack of athletes on pace to finish in about 3 hours and 20 minutes, a very respectable time. He drags himself along the pavement on hands and knees while everyone around dashes to the finish line. It appears as if this is the way his race will end, on all fours, but then two men who do not know him or each other stop to check on the guy. One of the men who stopped is Ryan McDevitt.
Just couldn't watch him just do it on his own there. We felt like I should help him out.
So Ryan and the other runner helped the man to his feet and helped him stagger to the finish.
He wasn't saying much. He was just kind of grunting and trying to get those last breaths in before he hit the finish line.
Marathon personnel tried to get to him, but Ryan and the other man simply got there first. It was one of those unbelievable moments that Ryan says underscored the spirit of the event. Once they crossed the finish line, more help was there to get the exhausted runner some medical attention. Ryan simply bumped hands with the other dude who helped, and they went on their separate ways. But united forever through one of the most unlikely random events you could ever imagine.
Well, the man you see there in that story is Tom Bedics. He actually lives in Hoover. Tom is with us this morning. Tom, good morning.
Good morning.
So great to see you.
Thank you so much.
It's so weird to sit here and watch that story with you. I can't even imagine when you see it. What do you think?
Well, it has been an incredible experience, and you know, the media attention's been very, very nice, and we got to fly to New York to be on the Mike and Juliet show, and that was just a thrill for us, and really once in a lifetime.
Now, you were up there, your family was with you.
That's right.
You were trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon?
That's right.
And what started happening at that point in the race?
Well, probably with about 5 miles to go, I could tell I was getting into a little bit of trouble. I started feeling you know, a little bit weaker, and I slowed down my pace a little bit, but I was still running on time to qualify for Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming up to the very end, I started trying to sprint to the finish, which may have not been the best idea. And about 20 yards to the finish line, I just collapsed. My legs just gave out.
They just give out on you?
They just gave out on me, and I knew I had 2 minutes still to qualify, so I was just trying to pull myself up so I can get back on my feet as fast as I can so I could qualify.
But you couldn't get back up?
And I couldn't get back up.
So you started crawling?
So I started crawling.
And people were passing you. I guess, are you in your own place at that point and people just weren't paying attention?
I think so, because I was right, I mean, literally right at the finish line. I mean, probably 20 yards from the finish.
I mean,
so,
we can see it here.
yeah,
People are just going past you.
I think people were, you know, a lot of the time I was at, was a Boston qualifying time for a lot of people, so they're probably focused on.
So these two guys that said, no, we can't pass him, and they picked him up.
And they helped me up.
What was that like when they started to pick you up?
It was great, because my knees, I mean, crawling on that pavement was unbelievable pain on my knees, and I just wanted to get to the finish line, and them helping me. Although at the time I probably wasn't thinking about it too much, but afterwards I was just so thankful. I mean, they're heroes to me.
You're friends with them now?
I am. I got to be on the Mike and Juliet show with one of them, and the other one I've talked to. They couldn't find him in time for that show, unfortunately, but I've talked to him.
When you look back on that, people who aren't runners can't even imagine what drove you to try to continue like that, but that was important for you to finish.
It was important. I mean, I flew up with my family. I flew up with my wife, Colleen, and my two boys, Carson and Cole, and you know, we made it, you know, a family experience to go up there, and you know, I wanted to make them proud and qualify for Boston. And
so did you qualify for Boston?
Well, I missed it by 25 seconds.
No way.
I lost about 2.5 minutes there just from the time I collapsed to get to the finish line.
They should have given it to you anyway.
Well, on the Mike and Juliet show, they invited me to go to New York to be on that show, and I guess they contacted Boston before the show, and on the show they presented me with a qualification for Boston, so Boston's going to let me run.
Congratulations.
So thank you so much.
That is so great to hear. Congratulations to you. What an inspirational story.
Thank you.
We'll be, when is the Boston Marathon?
Well, I'll be running it in April of 2010.
All right. We'll be looking for you. It's a while to get there. You got a lot of training to do, don't you?
I do. I'm already training for the Mercedes Marathon here in February.
Well, then we'll see you in February. How about that?
Thank you.
Tom Bedics, everybody. Thank you so much. Congratulations. All right, let's go to Mickey now, who is out at Chick-fil-A. Hey, Mick.
Janice, you might be wondering, how does the whole process work for a Chick-fil-A sandwich? I thought you were. This is Janine Owsley, and she's the marketing director at Chick-fil-A, and you get some chicken in and take it from there, Janine. What happens?